Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for storming out of my wedding reception after my sister in law's speech? I'm a 26-year-old male, and I got married to my wife, a 32-year-old female, this weekend. The ceremony went great, and the reception was going well. Just after we ate, my father in law and best man spoke, then my sister in law. All was going really smoothly until she brought up an awful time in my life. A little bit of background. During COVID, I lost most of my savings on the business that I had unluckily opened in October 2019. I was also dealing with some bad gastrointestinal problems and some horrible IBS. I felt terrible, like I had no hope, and getting my life back in order would take forever. Friends who had been part of my business left due to the failure, and others due to medical problems. My fiance was the only person who supported me and gave me hope. She helped me rebuild my self esteem and eventually my business, and I cannot thank her enough. When I was at my lowest, I wrote an emotional note about these feelings and went into detail about all the horrible things that I felt both emotionally and physically. I also wrote about how she was my strength and kept me afloat. I told my wife about my writing and my thoughts, but never showed her the note. Well, midway through sister in law's speech, I saw her unfold this dreaded note and start to read it to the audience. Not just the part about my wife, but a full paragraph before it where I describe how hopeless I felt and the details of my darkest moments from my toughest battles with IBS. I was so embarrassed. My sister in law started to cry as she got through the part about my wife and went on to say that she never knew how bad it was, but knew our love would overcome anything. I got red in the face. I stormed out to the back of the venue and lit up a cigarette, which I haven't had in years. Some family members ran out, but I told them that I needed to be alone. I came back a bit after, and everyone was eating and dancing. But I was still getting stares and just felt horrible. My wife comforted me, but we didn't really talk it through since she was entertaining family and whatnot. Well, after the party, I brought it up with my sister in law, and I told her that I felt violated, that she would somehow get a hold of that note and not only read it, but share it with everyone. I said it hurt because the memory of the wedding certainly felt tainted by the speech and my reaction. She told me that she wanted to share a beautiful image of our love and didn't think anything was wrong with it, that it reminded of her when she had a smoothie business that failed and it gave her hope. She even told me that it was a toxic coping mechanism to repress those feelings and be ashamed of them. I felt like the conversation was going nowhere, and we didn't speak for the rest of the night. It hasn't helped that the distant family and friends have been recommending IBS treatments for me. My wife agrees with me, but she thinks sister in law had good intentions. I told her that she is a jerk regardless for not even checking with me. Sister in law hadn't reached out to apologize yet, and I heard from mother in law that she thinks that I'm overreacting and trying to villainize her. Am I the jerk? Edit. Wow, thank you all for the responses. I'm just trying to respond to each one as I can. Just want to say here that my wife did not know where the note was. I never even told her about that note specifically, just that I liked to journal my thoughts and feelings. All right, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. What sister in law did was a gross invasion of your privacy.
Yeah, I mean, this is really what this boils down to, is it was an invasion of privacy, and if she really wanted to use that note, she should have checked with OP first.
And why did she even take a note that wasn't hers to begin with?
Yeah, well, from what I understand, I was reading some of the comments here. There are way too many comments to even like sift through here. So I'm just gonna kind of give you a skinny. OP had some illicit substances of the MJ variety, so nothing like hardcore. And apparently, he stopped using that in particular and went to a vape pen, right? And that allowed he thinks that his sister-in-law also smokes and found it when she found his stash, and so because apparently he kept this note with his stash or around about it. So that's where he thinks that she got the note from. But, like, even if she just found it on the ground and picked it up, it was still a really inappropriate thing to take this note, look over it, and then be like, hey, you know what I want to do? Share this with everyone.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like if you're in someone else's house and you see a note on the floor, you say, "Hey, there's a note on the floor." You don't pick it up, read it, and pocket it, and be
Yeah.
like, "I'm going to share this at your wedding." Well, I also think OP's wife and mother-in-law are being way too easy on sister-in-law here. Like what she did is wrong, and there's no excuse for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think she had good intentions. I think she really did sincerely think this was going to be a sweet story. Good intentions are fine, but they can still be harmful.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have the best intentions in the world, but you can still harm people. And if you do that, you still owe them an apology.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thoughts. So, anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here. And Amber has a joke.
What is black and white and black and white and black and white?
A zebra falling down the stairs.
A nun rolling down a snowbank with a penguin under her arm.
Well, I suppose that would produce the same result, right? And I've got Mega Mint tea. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving it a like. And if you didn't, consider giving it a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.